Don't you want it? 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 Don't you want it?
Deadlights Pod. Deadlights Pod.
Welcome to the Deadlights Podcast. I'm your host, Sam.
I'm your other host, Leslie, and we're bringing you another episode. Oh, why are you doing that? You're scary.
I'm a doll.
Oh,
I'm a doll.
why?
Because of the movie that we watched this week.
So scary. What did we watch?
We watched Dead Silence. Directed by James Wan, written by Leigh Whannell. A young widower returns to his hometown to search for answers to his wife's murder, which may be linked to the ghost of a deceased ventriloquist.
You know, you don't hear a lot of references to male, like people who have lost their spouses that are men as widows.
Widowers, yeah.
Widowers.
Yeah, it's true. But we got one in this movie. He's our main character, Jamie.
Jamie
Ashens. Jamie Ashen. Yeah. You're totally right. We're in the horror genre, so typically we're getting that final girl. We're going to have the person who lost their husband or their partner and goes on this journey to, I don't know, be the final girl. Not in this. We got the final guy.
Be the final girl. I just want to be a final girl.
Just let me be the final girl. But we got a final guy.
We did. We definitely did. It was such a dude-centric movie.
Super dude.
It
was a lot of dudes.
Yeah.
And we got two dudes making it. We got a dude writer. We got a dude director. My dudes.
And most of the dolls, right?
Yeah.
Puppets, they're mostly dudes.
Yeah. Most of those puppets were
dudes. How to make the best dude puppet.
You're so right. It was such a dude movie. I didn't realize actually until now we were just saying it how dudey it was.
It was so dudey.
Yeah. In many ways than one. All right. Should we just get into this thing?
Let's get into it.
Let's open up the can. I just mentioned it, but we are talking about James Wan and Leigh Whannell, who have been on this podcast before. They are the writer and director of Saw, which was the previous project right before they did Dead Silence. They got approached about doing Dead Silence when they were in post-production of Saw. So this is their follow-up to a obviously smash hit that kind of started a whole new subgenre in some ways in the horror category. And they decide to go with evil dolls this time.
So the idea here is to make a film that is really macabre and creepy. That was our aim, to write a story that was just really out there.
Isn't Jigsaw not a puppet?
Jigsaw is the serial killer, also known as John Kramer in Saw. And he does have Billy the puppet. His little mascot, I guess. And the main puppet in this movie is Billy as well. They don't look the same.
Billy's more presentable. He is a fine gentleman.
Perfect little boy.
Perfect little boy.
Yeah, he's a proper little boy, much different than the puppet in Saw. But something that is carrying over from Saw is definitely this James Wan style. A lot of blues. It's like everything is the hue of blue and green.
Yeah, think of the first Twilight movie.
And then turn the blue up. It's like this blue the whole time.
Did that take away anything for you? Like
yes, in a way of, first of all, it's so fucking dreary and like
heavy shadows.
It's dark. We were struggling to see some shots for sure. I don't know. To me, it was just a little boring. You know, everything was just so blue. Like everyone was wearing blue. Patterns were blue. They were using blue lights. I just wanted just a little more variety. It just felt like so slapped over everything. And then we had the little pops of red, which were cool and really popped because it was so
You wanted those.
Yeah. But I don't know. To me, it was just a little boring. I don't know. Did it take away for you?
I definitely did. Because blue is, although it's easy on the eyes, it's when you have the whole film be that, it becomes like a gray scale for me, like where it's just not even black and white, just gray. And then you are craving other colors because it does make it look very stale, very dull. It has to be intentional, like if fine. If you want to use that blue filter to indicate that it's nighttime, fine. I'll buy into it. But don't give me the whole film.
We're in broad daylight, and it is like a blue moon out there or something.
Come on.
What the hell's
There's
going on?
other colors, bro.
Please. Yeah. Their kind of grungy style of this like kind of 1.5 speeds mixed with like half speeds.
And then like weird freaking angles.
Yeah. And I can see that kind of like 90s grunge music video style coming out, which is also very heavy in Saw. But again, we're really heavy handing it. And he was playing with transitions too, which was kind of interesting. We were coming.
Yeah, we'd be coming out of an eyeball, going into an eyeball.
Yeah, like, and then we were going into like a map at one point too. They were playing with a lot. They were playing with a lot of stuff. I mean, it really felt like they had a lot of ideas.
And they threw them all.
We did them all. Let's do them all.
The way James and I write is to just take everything but the kitchen sink and just throw it all into a pot and then throw the kitchen sink in.
And when that happens, at least for me, it's really hard to then decipher what information is truly important. It disorients me to like going into eyeballs, coming out of eyeballs, and all those transitions. I was like, what is real? What?
Yeah.
Like, this world is truly make-believe, and obviously it is, but we don't want to know that. Don't break that magic for us from your heavy-handed concepts.
Yeah. And
It was just too many.
Yeah. I think we talked about this a little bit in Panic Room, where we have filmmakers that are really coming out of successful projects. In Panic Room, Fincher was coming out of Fight Club. In this, James Wan and Leigh Whannell are coming out of Saw. So we have these up and coming filmmakers that are still trying to find their styles too. And so they're trying a lot of things. And I think it's great. You know, they're finding the things that work. They're finding the things that don't work. And I do see the things in this movie that do work carried to Insidious, The Conjuring, these other projects that they go on to do that are successful, that are good movies and scary. And so it's just interesting to watch these almost like transitional movies where they're given a bigger budget and they're allowed to do a little more of what they just want to try because they have these things that they've wanted to do forever. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In this case, didn't really work for us, but that's okay because subsequent projects, I think, benefited from the things that they were trying to do in this movie.
It's an old school story, it's an old fashioned ghost story, so therefore it needs a much more classical approach in the overall aesthetic.
We want it to be simple, old fashioned. Fog, being scared of what's underneath the bed, someone grabbing you through a curtain, like simple scare tactics.
I can see the elements that they use for Saw working so much better for Saw. So like Saw, we're getting a lot of the grungy editing of the fast and
It's more of a grindhouse torture.
yeah, and it makes sense. Yeah, because like we're in the space in which like we don't know where we're at for when like the characters are put in, you're just like, where are we? And we don't know who's talking to us and stuff like that. So like that kind of style makes sense. It doesn't make sense when it's applied to like a home and it has like the home is not that's what's haunted. It's the doll that just arrived. And then I started like making a list of the rules, which we broke. We broke all the rules, and I'm just like, okay, well, this puppet can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah. You're totally right. Those styles don't mix. But it's interesting because Insidious, which is their project right after this, drops that grunge style almost completely. So they figured it out by then. This was like that weird in-between bridge that, like the bridge in this movie, kind of fell into the water.
Ew. You're very proud of that one. If they would have done the Insidious kind of just very clear, colorful, like there was color.
There was more color
to it.
It is definitely more of a washed out film, but they were at least had more than just one hue.
One hue.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, it's just something about the blue. It's calming. And it's not supposed to be a calming movie. It's a scary movie.
Yeah. Should we get to the meat?
Yeah, let's get to the meat. Let's meet it up. Meat grind.
What fucking movie even talking about?
Mary Shaw was a grown-ass woman who got bullied by one boy while she was on stage, and she was like, I'm gonna fuck you up, little boy.
Sorry, Mother. I can't help
I can see your lips moving. What?
Who said that?
I did. I can see it. Her lips are moving.
She kidnapped him and turned him into a doll.
Little boy doll. And then promised that his entire lineage would never be in existence. And that's how fucking Jamie Ashen, great grandnephew of little asshole boy, got pulled into this because his great uncle was a little boy at a show.
Yeah, and was just like, you're not even. I could see your lips moving,
and her lips were moving.
Yeah, her lips definitely were moving.
She was super butthurt.
Yeah, talk about petty.
Yeah.
Petty queen.
No wonder she had to make 101 dolls to be her friends, because that's pretty quick, Miss Shaw.
Now, who's the dummy?
I guess it was kind of like a paying the sins of the father kind of deal. And there literally was a line where he was like, I'm paying for the sins of my father.
Spirits have long memories. She'll come for us in the end.
I'm paying for the sins of my fathers.
Okay, that's it.
It generational trauma, But like,
I guess
this is generational curse.
They just went straight for his wife too, and just like, oof, pregnant wife.
Pregnant wife.
Lisa. Sorry.
God. Yeah, I mean, that's all I gathered. I think they just wanted to make a fun movie.
Yeah.
Puppets tend to be scary.
Tend to.
I mean, they are scary, right?
They are scary. They do tend to be scary, but I'm saying in this movie,
he was too perfect of a doll.
He was a perfect little boy.
It was creepy.
Should we get to the cook?
Yeah. Because I don't have anything else in the
There's
meat.
really nothing. There's very little meat on these bones. It's a wooden boy.
I was gonna say the same joke.
It's a wooden boy. Yeah, I mean, what I will give this movie is it starts like immediately. Like the first scene, they're opening the doll package, and we are thrust into Jamie's wife getting murdered, him returning home because that's where he finds out this doll is from, and then him going on the journey of trying to figure out what's going on, who's doing this to him, why it's happening to him. And we're jumped into that action immediately. So I will give it the fact that the mystery is starting to unravel right from the start. Logic, though, in this movie,
Yeah.
that wasn't there.
No, because it's hard to have multiple main characters, right? Multiple villains. You know, you don't know who to focus on. That's why I think a lot of these like Marvel movies, when all the superheroes are like together, it's like, if you don't know anything about superheroes, you're just like, why are we filled with all of these people and there's so many storylines going on?
You haven't seen every fucking movie. You're behind. You don't know what's going on.
Just don't even.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Yeah.
And so what I'm trying to say is that like we had the puppet, then we had Mary Shaw. So now we have to like keep an eye on both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then we discovered that there's 100 more puppets.
And then we discover right at the end that there were the stepmom was
And then it was
the
a
villain.
stepmom.
Like right at the end. What?
And then you also mention, it's like, why are we using another puppet?
Yeah.
Like
Right
at
At the end, in like the third act, when it's this final confrontation between Jamie and Mary Shaw and all her fucking puppets, we're not using the puppet that we've been haunted by the whole time. It's the little fucking clown puppet.
Yeah, it's a clown puppet. So then if Mary Shaw can then use her powers to use multiple puppets, why not use 100 and spread yourself? Because she Voldemort. She fucking Horcrux herself into all these 101.
Yep.
Why have them all in one place?
Why you're sending one out?
Have them all over the world. Spread them out.
Mary Shaw's a fucking idiot.
She's an
I
idiot.
can see your lips moving. My lineage is fucked.
Don't use that clip.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, the logic, it just fell apart in these moments.
Mm-hmm.
And like, even from the start, I'm just like, why is Jamie holding on to this doll? Like, he just has this doll that was right there at his wife's murder, out on the table, right next to him sleeping. I'm like, dude, just logically from the jump, I'm like, I can't buy that this guy would be carrying around this doll.
He was in, okay, you want to take the doll with you? Keep it in the fucking box.
Keep it in the box.
And tape that shit up. I don't know. Just like chain it up.
Chain that up.
If you think it's the doll, which he immediately drew the conclusion is like, it's the fucking doll.
He thought it was.
Let's see, you received an unmarked package just moments before Lisa was killed.
Yeah, a package containing a ventriloquist dummy.
Why is he just in the passenger seat fucking buckled up? Why is the doll buckled up?
This thing is dangerous. But I'm going to leave it on the table while I'm sleeping right there.
It's so silly.
Silly.
Like, we could have maybe just taken our time to have our main character, even though that's annoying as well, of just being like in denial. But like, at least be like, no, it can't be a doll, right? This is just a thing. But no, immediately he was like, it's the doll.
I'm in.
In the town where I'm from, a ventriloquist dummy is a bad omen. It's kind of a local legend, and some people believe that the dummy brings death to those around them.
I'm fucking in. It kind of gave his character no depth. It made him feel like not a real person.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there was much depth to many people.
No. Oh, God, no. And then we have the whole fucking detective Donnie Wahlberg coming in who can't stop shaving his neck for no reason at all.
No reason.
No reason at all.
Wherever he's at, he's just shaving. And I'm just like, that's disgusting. First of all, as a detective, you should know not to leave your DNA everywhere.
Yeah, he had the nastiest fucking mustache, too. Anyway.
He wasn't shaving anything.
This was Donnie Wahlberg's dry run for the next movie that he would do with James Wan and Leigh Whannell, which is Saw 2, which he also plays a detective, essentially the exact same character.
With the razor?
Not with the razor and not with the mustache. They took that note, thank God. But still, just a hateable character, asshole detective, same trench coat, literally.
Just give me a phone. Oh, this shit.
I think I should go back to Mom's.
Well, then go!
And I was like, are they trying to connect universes here? They don't, because they kill him at the end.
Oh.
But
yeah, they do.
but man, I don't know. There was some weird like universe crossing shit they were trying to do in this movie too. Like Billy the puppet from Saw was in a shot.
Yeah.
Just in the foreground.
I think he must have been one of the puppets she made.
Which has weird implications of what universe Saw and Dead Silence are in. I don't even want to go there. That'll be a different episode. And then they also, like, on that little clown puppet, they had the like spiral symbol that also is from Saw and becomes like Spiral with whatever, that awful movie.
That awful freaking movie.
So there's these like weird tiny attempts to like weave these things in for seemingly zero reason. I don't think anyone else would notice except us, but
I mean, the puppet was definitely highlighted.
Oh, well, that one for sure.
And they were just like, hey, here we go. It would have been so cool if it wasn't highlighted because it was in the foreground. And we just like capture it and be like, hey, what the heck? You know, and it wouldn't seem so much of a like, hey guys, we made another movie.
Remember us?
Yeah.
Remember that other movie we did?
I love little Easter eggs.
Yes.
You know, and to me, they don't necessarily have to connect. People can make their own assumptions. And I think that's the lore of all of that. But
yeah, it's probably just a fun little thing they threw in. And honestly, they're having fun. Like, and
but don't use the same actor for the basically same character. I think that is too. It's lazy.
Choice. That was a strange choice.
Yeah, that's just lazy because I feel like now you really are trying to connect. If you're just leaving your puppet that you use for another movie in your puppet movie, then okay, that's fun. But this is why you don't use the same actors. And if you are, give them different characters, for God's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Have them try something else.
They wrote him the exact same character.
Yeah. That's lazy.
Go check out our review of Saw 2 if you want to check out Donnie Wahlberg. Oh boy, his performance in that one. Should we get to the thrill?
Yeah, let's thrill.
I mean, we're talking about dolls, and we've actually had a couple doll movies on this podcast already. We saw Magic, which is another ventriloquist movie, and we also
very similar looking, kind of like Perfect Boy.
Perfect Boy, little ventriloquist doll. And of course, we saw Child's Play last season. So we're seeing different takes on these evil dolls. And like we already said, dolls are for sure creepy. And unfortunately, they just get kind of lost in the mess of the story. We don't really, we start with like, I liked that scene in the motel where the light is flashing on and off.
Jamie.
And they kind of just like leave that behind. They kind of leave Billy behind. They leave the doll thing behind and go full Mary Shaw. This crazy old woman.
Yeah, that's why I'm just kind of like, well, then in that case, like, I use either or.
Right.
Use either or. I really did like that. I like the element of Mary Shaw being the ventriloquist Ventriloquist.
You got it.
And what her MO was taking people's tongues and then adding it to her everlasting tongue of tongues. I thought that was really cool. I love that aspect. That's the only thing that works for me when it comes to the thrill. Because otherwise, I didn't think it was scary.
It really was. I don't know. We were also kind of calling
everything
scares. Yeah, it didn't deliver for me in the spooky aspects, unfortunately.
Yeah. And, if you have a phobia or close to of puppets, this could be the scariest thing you've ever seen.
Actually, what I will say, one thing also that did work for me was the sound. When Mary Shaw or one of the dolls was going to kill somebody, all the sound would be like sucked out of the room. And so you only heard very immediate sound effects, very intimate. And it kind of felt like things were really close and really claustrophobic. And there was something right there. And in a movie that's called Dead Silence, that felt like a cool element for them to add as like, uh-oh. We know something's coming. So it was a good indicator of spooky things.
I like that too. I'm glad that you mentioned that because I definitely did write it down, and spoke on the Foley,
yeah.
The Foley. Whenever the like puppets would move, it was like a door opening, like a very meticulous like.
Adding with that element of like the tongues, obviously the sound and voices were very important. So
because every time that she took, that's another part. Anytime that she took someone's tongue, she developed another voice.
You said that your wife spoke to you just moments before you found her, right?
Yeah.
But she didn't have a tongue. In fact, according to you, she was already dead.
So then she was able to speak like
that was cool.
Just don't even make the puppets be the main thing. They're there because that was her career, right?
Yes.
And it has to do with like voices and stuff like that. But like not anything against older people. But I just don't see why she had to be older. I don't know. Her image was of that of a ghost, but not quite so of a entertainer. I don't know.
Yeah.
It didn't fit. Like it didn't.
She looked like a witch or something.
Yeah.
Not like she would be in front of a huge theater of people doing this act. And if she was like this reclusive kind of character, I don't think she would do that either.
It didn't make sense as to
again the
logic of that.
Yeah, the logics were just kind of not worried about.
Yeah, we just wanted to have a very particular look of things, and
that we did it.
And yeah, and if it didn't make sense, then okay. But like,
if it didn't make sense, then keep your mouth shut.
Dead silence.
Nice. Very cool.
Nice.
Very cool. Nice foley. Let's just get to the final ride.
Yeah.
In the end, Mary wins because there's this last minute reveal after we burn down all of her 101 Dalmatians. Jamie returns home back to his dad's big old place, and we realize, holy shit, this entire time his dad has also been a puppet. And the stepmom is a bad guy, but is she Mary Shaw?
I think she's supposed to be young Mary Shaw.
Hot young Mary Shaw?
Hot young Mary Shaw.
She cleans up well. See, she should have been
She should have been the main character.
Yeah. They didn't really say if it was like it could have been Mary Shaw, or also was it also just this woman who was like insane and wanted to be Mary Shaw, or was like conjuring her?
Well, like we get that moment in where she goes from being stepmom to then being Mary Shaw,
that
right
really-
on, like, you know,
that
like
bad CGI moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of them coming like, and being like, we're the same person.
Oh, what's happening?
So that's what I got, is that like she's another ghost.
Okay.
But like, again, the logic of Mary popping up as her older lady self and controlling the puppets, and then she's the young hot, stepmom controlling the human puppet.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can tell that they were trying to do like this big old twist of just like, and you didn't see this coming, did you?
They were trying to Shyamalan it.
Now, who's the dummy?
She was a bunch of shenanigans, honestly.
And I mean, instead of being like, whoa, like mind blown, this adds to the story and it makes this movie so much better, I was just like, and why?
Why? Just let me go home. Roll the fucking credits.
Please.
We're done. I'm done with you, Mary.
Yeah. If we would have just done that, of just like her turning people into puppets, that would have been cool.
Because she was doing that too.
Yeah.
Why was
have
she
just one puppet Billy, and then if she wants to make Horcruxes of people,
Yeah.
then okay, cool.
All the people that she's killing. Just
Exactly.
make all of them puppets, or
They're just, like you said, there's so many things, and we added all of them.
we did them all.
We did them all.
Dead silence.
Dead silence.
2007. Shall we get to these Smash Pumpkins?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll go first this time. All right, I will share my custom log line, give my rating, and then also the Creepiest Kitty Award. You got mail. A creepy ass doll. Oh, you're going to hold on to it for no reason at all? You're fucked. I gave it a 2. And the Creepiest Kitty Award, actually, this was an element that they did bring forward into Insidious, especially. There was one shot where Mary was moving towards Jamie, I believe. And it's just like that thing where they put the actor on a platform and just move the platform. So they're not walking, but they're kind of just floating forward. Ooh. It's always just like this very uncomfortable, creepy looking shot to me. And they did use that a lot in subsequent films. So there's a couple shots like that. And I'm going to give my Creepiest Kitty Award to that because I liked that. Nice. And I'm glad they continued to use that.
Yeah. Nice. Now my turn. This is all improv, baby.
All improv.
If it sucks, I just wasted $1,500 on improv classes.
All right.
Okay.
That's it.
No, that was terrible. Cut that out.
Okay.
Actually,
I saw your lips moving.
I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm a grown ass adult. I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, my lineage.
My lineage. I give it a 2.
All right. Creepiest Kitty?
I really like the elements of the tongues. If we just kept that and had her talk like multiple people and lured them in, use the human puppet. Like, I like the element of the human puppet. I just hated that it was like put towards the end as like a, and we got you kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the tongue, it could have worked. And especially because she just kept piling.
Oh,
and
yeah.
piling.
It was so nasty.
Tongue on top of tongue on top of tongue.
Very long tongues. Gross. Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. Dead Silence. Wow.
Wow.
Put that one to sleep.
Oh, did you hear that? Okay. It was just one side.
That's Foley.
Foley.
Well, thank you so much for joining us again here in the Playground Social studio. Please check us out at the Deadlights Pod and check out Playground Social.
Oh, yeah. And also check me out at Color Me Leslie on Instagram.
And me at BP Pritchie T. Ooh. But until next time, let's get spooky.
Ooh.
I'm the perfect boy.
I'm the perfect boy.
Honestly, fuck you, Mary.